The seven wonders of the world are undeniably iconic, but they might have been crowned a bit too soon. While marvels like the Grand Canyon and Victoria Falls are impressive in scale, there's something even more breathtaking about the world's lesser-known wonders, places that seem plucked from fantasy and tucked away from the crowds. Hidden across the globe are destinations so surreal they defy logic. These aren't your run-of-the-mill tourist traps. These are the secrets of the earth, places whispered about by explorers and left off most travel itineraries. From fiery pits that burn endlessly to forests that twist the laws of nature, here are the 15 hidden places on Earth that will shock you, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Number 15. Grüner See. In Austria, there's a park that refuses to follow the usual rules. It starts off as a picturesque spot near the Hochschwab Mountains, perfect for a stroll on crisp autumn days. But when spring arrives, things change. Snowmelt from the mountains floods the area, swallowing trails, benches, and bridges in pristine glacial water. This annual transformation turns the park into a temporary underwater world. The water is so clear you can see everything: paths where hikers once walked, flowers that now bloom underwater, and even the outlines of submerged trails. Divers are drawn to this seasonal lake, eager to swim through a landscape that only exists for a few weeks each year. By late summer, the water recedes, leaving behind the familiar park once again. Grüner See is a rare natural phenomenon where nature constantly reclaims and reshapes what we take for granted, creating an ever-changing marvel. Number 14. The Blue Pond. On the northern island of Hokkaido lies a body of water that seems to defy reality. This pond doesn't just reflect its surroundings, it changes color, shifting from deep blue to green depending on the angle and light. The effect is so vivid that it looks almost artificial, yet it's entirely natural. What's surprising is that this wasn't planned. Decades ago, a dam was built to prevent mud flows from a nearby volcano, and the pond formed as a byproduct. But something unexpected happened. Minerals, particularly aluminum hydroxide, began to mix into the water, scattering light in unusual ways. The result is a color so striking it seems otherworldly. Adding to its eerie beauty, tree trunks poke through the surface, standing like silent witnesses to the pond's strange existence. While it wasn't meant to be, the Blue Pond has become a living example of how even human intervention can lead to something extraordinary. Number 13. Movile Cave. Movile Cave in southeastern Romania remained sealed from the outside world for 5.5 million years. When discovered by workers drilling for a power plant in the 1980s, it revealed a completely alien ecosystem. Unlike any other place on Earth, its air is toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide at levels deadly to humans. Entering requires careful preparation. Breathing this air unprotected would be your last mistake. The cave's environment is hostile, with pools of sulfuric water that smell of rotting eggs. Yet, despite these conditions, life has thrived. Researchers found 33 species inside that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. Blind scorpions, worms, and other strange creatures survive by feeding on bacteria that live off the cave's mineral-rich walls. Movile Cave is more than just a scientific marvel. It's proof of life's ability to adapt to the most extreme conditions. But it's not a place you'd want to visit without a gas mask and a solid sense of self-preservation. Number 12. Shanay-Timpishka. In the heart of Peru's Amazon lies the Shanay-Timpishka, a river unlike anything else on Earth. Stretching just 4 miles, this river reaches temperatures hot enough to boil living creatures alive. Animals that fall in don't have a chance. Their skin scalds, their organs cook, and within just minutes, they're lifeless. It's brutal, and it's no wonder the river is steeped in local legend. What makes this river so hot is a geological mystery. Typically, boiling water flows from volcanic activity, but the nearest volcano is over 700 kilometers away. Scientists believe underground geothermal heat seeps through fault lines, superheating the river and turning it into a natural pressure cooker. For the indigenous Ashaninka people, Shanay-Timpishka is sacred. They believe it was created by a giant serpent spirit, and it remains a place of great reverence. For researchers and visitors, it's a deadly reminder of the Earth's raw power. Fascinating to observe, but lethal if underestimated. Number 11. The Petrifying Well. In North Yorkshire, there's a creepy well that turns any kind of object into stone, just like in Dr. Stone or Medusa. For centuries, this bizarre phenomenon puzzled locals, who believed it was cursed by a witch. The well, with water dripping over a cliff that resembles a grinning skull, has fascinated visitors for generations. The process is entirely natural. The water has an unusually high mineral content that coats anything left beneath it, transforming everyday objects into stony relics. A teddy bear, a hat, or even a bike can become a statue within 3 to 5 months. It's the same process that creates stalactites in caves, but seeing it happen in real time is mesmerizing. The well has become a popular attraction, and its legend still lingers. While science has debunked the witch curse, the eerie appearance of the cliff and the transformation of objects make this a destination that feels like stepping into folklore. Now let's head over to Number 10. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat, is a stunning natural wonder in Bolivia that transforms with the seasons. In winter, it's an endless white desert, but during the rainy season, September-May, it becomes a giant, sky-reflecting mirror that looks like the Earth's surface was polished by the gods. This is the ultimate selfie destination. Just try not to lose yourself in the surreal horizon where land and sky merge seamlessly. This otherworldly place was once a prehistoric lake that dried up, leaving behind 4,000 square miles of salt crust. It's also home to an abundance of lithium used in batteries powering your favorite gadgets. While it might seem lifeless, it's not. Flamingos visit the area, adding a splash of pink to the shimmering landscape. Whether you're walking on its crunchy surface or watching it transform into a mirror, Salar de Uyuni is a masterpiece of nature that feels more like an alien planet than Earth. Number 9. Antelope Canyon, Arizona, USA. Antelope Canyon in Arizona looks like a dream brought to life. Carved by centuries of rainwater slicing through sandstone, it's a maze of narrow passageways with swirling walls that shift colors depending on the time of day. The Navajo people call it Se Biganilini, or the place where water runs through rocks. And honestly, that name barely captures its magic. Visiting feels like stepping into a living painting, where beams of light filter down from above, creating a dance of shadows and colors. But don't let the photos fool you. Pictures can't capture the sheer awe of seeing it in person. It's a photographer's paradise, sure, but it's also a humbling reminder of nature's power. Pro tip: book a guided tour, as it's not only safer but also a great way to learn about the canyon's cultural significance. And remember, this masterpiece wasn't built in a day, but over millions of years of patient artistry. Number 8. Kuang Falls, Laos. Nestled near Luang Prabang, Laos, Kuang Falls is a slice of paradise that looks almost too good to be true. This 3-tiered waterfall cascades into turquoise pools so vivid they look photoshopped. But rest assured, it's all real and irresistible. You'll want to take a dip in the cool, crystal-clear waters, which are perfect for swimming. But if you're feeling adventurous, hiking the surrounding trails offers stunning views and quieter spots to soak in nature. What sets Kuang apart is how untouched it feels. Locals revere the falls, and the nearby Tat Kuang Bear Rescue Center adds a heartwarming touch to your visit, where rescued bears roam in safety. The magic of Kuang Falls isn't just in its beauty, it's in the serenity it offers. Whether you're diving in or simply sitting on the edge, letting your feet dangle in the water, this place is pure bliss. Number 7. North Sentinel Island, Andamans. North Sentinel Island is the ultimate no-go zone, where time stopped thousands of years ago. Home to the Sentinelese, one of the world's last uncontacted tribes, this island in the Andaman archipelago is shrouded in mystery. Attempts to visit are strictly forbidden, not just by law, but by the tribe's fiercely protective nature. The Sentinelese are hunter-gatherers, thriving in isolation for centuries, rejecting all attempts at contact. Those who ventured too close often paid with their lives, as the tribe uses bows and arrows to defend their territory. In one infamous incident, a missionary's attempt to make contact ended tragically. Beyond its danger, North Sentinel Island represents resilience, a community surviving on their terms in a modern world. While it might be fascinating to think about, it's better left untouched. After all, this isn't just their home, it's their sanctuary. Some places are best appreciated from a distance on YouTube. Number 6. Mount Rinjani, Indonesia. Mount Rinjani, Indonesia's second highest volcano, isn't just a climb, it's a rite of passage. This towering peak on Lombok Island offers breathtaking views, challenging treks, and a crater lake nicknamed Child of the Sea, or as locals like to call it, Sagara Anak. But don't let the stunning vistas fool you. Rinjani demands respect and sometimes regret. The multi-day trek is not for the faint-hearted. You'll navigate steep ascents, unpredictable weather, and the occasional bout of altitude sickness. But the reward? Sunrises that paint the sky in fiery hues and the serenity of soaking in hot springs near the crater. Rinjani is still an active volcano, adding an element of thrill to every step. Locals hold spiritual ceremonies here, considering the mountain sacred. While its beauty captivates adventurers, the climb reminds you of nature's power. If you're up for the challenge, Rinjani will test your limits and leave you in awe of its wild majesty. Number 5. Lake Karachay. Lake Karachay in Russia is often referred to as the most radioactive lake on Earth, and for good reason. Used by the Soviet Union as a dumping ground for nuclear waste, the lake became so toxic that standing near it for just 1 hour could kill you. The disasters connected to Karachay are staggering. In 1957, a nuclear facility nearby exploded, contaminating thousands of square miles. In 1967, parts of the lake dried up, and radioactive dust was carried by the wind, exposing even more people to lethal radiation. Today, most of the lake has been filled with concrete to prevent further contamination. But even with this measure, it remains a deadly scar on the landscape. Unlike Chernobyl, where life has slowly returned, Karachay's waters are a grim reminder of the long-lasting consequences of nuclear waste mismanagement. This is one place where nature and human error collided, and no one came out the winner. Now, let's move to Number 4. The Ringing Rocks. At first glance, the field of rocks in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, looks like any other pile of boulders. But looks can be deceiving. Strike one with a hammer, and it produces a chime, an eerie, metallic tone you'd never expect from a rock. Geologists have studied these stones for years, but no one fully agrees on why they sing. One theory is that the rocks, formed from volcanic basalt, contain a unique blend of minerals that create vibrations when struck. Others believe it's the way the stones interact when grouped together. What's even stranger is how they got there. The field sits on flat land, far from cliffs or mountains that could explain a rockfall. For centuries, people have wondered if the site was shaped by something far beyond our understanding. Regardless of its origins, the ringing rocks are a geological anomaly and a reminder of how much we still don't know about the earth beneath our feet. Number 3. Kawah Ijen. On the Indonesian island of Java, there's a volcano where the night sky glows with electric blue flames. This isn't lava, though. It's burning sulfur. Kawah Ijen is home to one of the largest sulfur mines in the world, and its eerie glow is caused by sulfuric gases escaping from cracks in the volcano's surface. When the gases ignite upon contact with air, they burn with a vivid blue flame that flows down the volcano like liquid light. During the day, it's nearly invisible, but at night, it transforms into an otherworldly spectacle. Despite its beauty, the environment here is harsh and dangerous. Miners work without modern equipment, inhaling toxic fumes while extracting sulfur to carry down the mountain. The conditions are brutal, yet they work tirelessly, their paths illuminated by the glow of a substance that's both deadly and mesmerizing. Number 2. Hanging coffins. In the remote mountains of Sagada, Philippines, ancient coffins dangle precariously from limestone cliffs. This isn't an abandoned tradition. It's part of the Igorot people's belief that their dead should rest closer to the heavens. The coffins, often carved by the deceased before their passing, are small, as bodies are placed in a fetal position, a symbolic return to how life began. Ropes and nails secure them to the cliffs, creating a surreal sight that looks fragile yet endures through time. To outsiders, the sight might feel unsettling, but for the Igorot, it's a sacred act. They believe placing their loved ones high above ground not only keeps them closer to their ancestors, but also protects the bodies from scavengers. Visiting these cliffs requires reverence. Number 1. Marble Caves, Patagonia, Chile. If you love a good adventure with a side of jaw-dropping beauty, the Marble Caves in Chile should be on your bucket list. Tucked away in the turquoise waters of General Carrera Lake, shared by Chile and Argentina, these caves are a true masterpiece, sculpted by nature. Over thousands of years, the relentless waves have carved swirling patterns into the marble, creating a mesmerizing display of blues, whites, and grays that shift with the water's reflections. Known as the Marble Cathedral, Chapel, and Caves, these formations feel almost sacred, with their domed ceilings and echoing chambers that seem designed for quiet awe. Accessible only by boat, the caves are wonderfully secluded, adding to their mystique. The light show is best during early morning or late afternoon when the sun paints the marble walls in brilliant hues. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.